In the bustling heart of New York City, where skyscrapers pierced the sky like arrogant fingers pointing to forgotten dreams, a young woman named Lila scrubbed the floors of a gleaming corporate tower. Her hands, calloused and raw from years of menial labor, moved in rhythmic circles, wiping away the footprints of the powerful. But what no one knew, until one fateful night, was that Lila wasn't just surviving, she was sacrificing. Half her meager earnings, scraped from minimum wage jobs, went straight to a rundown orphanage on the city's outskirts. Little did she know, the CEO of that very tower, a man hardened by boardroom battles and billion-dollar deals, was about to stumble upon her secret. And what he did next? It was unthinkable. Stick around till the end, because this story will restore your faith in humanity. And if it touches your heart like it did mine, hit that like button and subscribe for more inspiring tales that prove kindness can change the world. Lila's life had never been easy. Born in a cramped apartment in Brooklyn to parents who worked double shifts just to keep the lights on, she learned early that dreams were luxuries for those who could afford them. Her father, a factory worker with a laugh that could fill a room, died in an industrial accident when she was 10. The compensation? A pittance that barely covered the funeral. Her mother, Maria, a seamstress with fingers pricked 1,000 times by needles, fought to keep them afloat. But illness claimed her too, leaving Lila orphaned at 16. The system shuffled her through foster homes, each one colder than the last, until she aged out and hit the streets with nothing but a high school diploma and a fire in her belly to never let another child feel that abandonment. Now 25, Lila juggled 3 jobs, cleaning offices by night, waitressing at a dingy diner during the day, and tutoring kids in the evenings for pocket change. Her tiny studio apartment in Queens was a testament to her frugality. Faded curtains from a thrift store, a mattress on the floor, and a single photo of her parents smiling on their wedding day. But every payday, without fail, she'd withdraw half her earnings in cash and head to St. Mary's Orphanage. The place was a relic, its paint peeling like old skin, roofs leaking during rainstorms, and the children, oh, the children, wide-eyed and hopeful despite the odds stacked against them. There was little Tommy, 7 years old with a mop of curly hair, who dreamed of becoming an astronaut but struggled with asthma from the moldy walls. Sarah, 9, who clutched a ragged doll and whispered stories of her lost family. And baby Mia, barely 2, whose giggles could light up the darkest room but who needed formula that the orphanage could scarcely afford. Lila didn't just donate money, she volunteered her time, reading bedtime stories, helping with homework, and sometimes sneaking in treats from her diner shifts. These kids, she'd say to herself as she walked home in the wee hours, feet aching, they deserve a shot at the stars, even if I never reach them myself. Across town, in a penthouse suite overlooking Central Park, Alexander Voss ruled his empire with an iron fist. CEO of Voss Enterprises, a tech conglomerate worth billions, Alex had built his fortune from nothing, or so the magazines said. Truth was, he came from old money, but he'd tripled it through ruthless acquisitions and innovative AI software that revolutionized industries. At 42, he was the epitome of success. Tailored suits, a private jet, and a social calendar filled with galas and golf games. But beneath the polished exterior lay a void. His marriage had crumbled under the weight of his ambition, his ex-wife taking their daughter Elena in the divorce. Elena, now 12, barely spoke to him, her messages curt and infrequent. Alex drowned the guilt in work, convincing himself that providing financially was enough. One crisp autumn evening, as the city lights twinkled like distant stars, Alex stayed late in his office on the 50th floor. A merger was falling apart, and he paced the room, barking orders into his phone. Frustrated, he decided to take the service elevator down, avoiding the main one crowded with departing employees. That's when he saw her, Lila on her knees, mopping the lobby floor with quiet determination. Something about her caught his eye, the way she hummed softly, a melody that sounded like an old lullaby his mother used to sing. He paused, watching from the shadows, but she didn't notice. The next day, curiosity gnawed at him. Who was this woman? He pulled her file from HR. Lila Ramirez, cleaner, impeccable record, no complaints. But why did she look so content? In a world where everyone chased more, she seemed at peace with less. Alex shook it off, diving back into spreadsheets. But fate, or perhaps coincidence, intervened. During a routine audit of employee expenses, Voss Enterprises prided itself on transparency. His CFO mentioned an anomaly. "Sir, one of our cleaners is wiring half her paycheck to an orphanage every month. It's consistent, but odd for someone on her salary." Alex froze. "Which one?" "Lila Ramirez." Intrigued, he dug deeper. A private investigator, hired discreetly, reported back within days. Photos of Lila at St. Mary's handing over envelopes of cash, playing with the kids. Stories from the orphanage director about how her donations kept the lights on, bought school supplies, even funded medical checkups. "She's a saint," the director said. "Lives on ramen so those kids can have fresh fruit." Alex couldn't sleep that night. He stared at the city skyline from his penthouse, wineglass in hand. How could someone with so little give so much? His own life felt hollow in comparison. Billions in the bank, yet he couldn't bridge the gap with his daughter. Elena's last email echoed in his mind. "Dad, money isn't everything. I just want you to care." The unthinkable began to form, a plan so radical it scared him. But first, he needed to meet Lila. The following week, Alex orchestrated a chance encounter. He accidentally spilled coffee in the lobby during her shift. "Oh, damn," he muttered as Lila rushed over with her mop. "No problem, sir," she said, her voice soft but steady. Up close, her eyes were a warm brown, etched with lines of fatigue but sparkling with kindness. "You're Lila, right? I've seen you around. Thanks for keeping this place spotless." She blushed slightly. "Just doing my job." As she cleaned, he struck up conversation. "Long hours, huh? What do you do for fun?" Lila hesitated, then smiled. "I help out at an orphanage. The kids there, they're my fun." Alex nodded, feigning casual interest. "That's admirable. Most people are too busy chasing their own dreams." "Dreams are overrated if they don't include helping others," she replied, wringing out the mop. Their chats became routine. Alex found excuses to linger in the lobby. Forgotten files, late-night calls. Lila opened up slowly, about losing her parents, the foster system horrors, her vow to break the cycle for other orphans. "I give half because that's what my mom did when she could. It's not much, but it's something." Alex shared snippets of his life too, the pressures of running a company, the regret over his family. For the first time in years he felt seen, not as a CEO, but as a man flawed and searching. But challenges loomed. Lila's health began faltering. Years of poor nutrition and exhaustion caught up. She fainted at work one day, diagnosed with anemia and burnout. The doctor prescribed rest and better food, luxuries she couldn't afford. Meanwhile, St. Mary's faced eviction. The building owner, a greedy developer, wanted to turn it into condos. The orphans' futures hung by a thread. Alex watched from afar, his plans solidifying. He visited St. Mary's anonymously, seeing the kids Lila loved. Tommy's cough, Sarah's shy smile. It hit him hard. Elena's face flashed in his mind. He hadn't been there for her, but maybe he could be for them. The unthinkable? Alex decided to buy the orphanage building outright. Not to develop it, but to renovate it into a state-of-the-art facility. But that wasn't all. He'd fund scholarships for every child, hire staff, and, most radically, step down as CEO to run it himself. Voss Enterprises could thrive without him. He'd appoint his trusted VP. This was his redemption. Word spread when he announced it at a board meeting. "I'm out," he said, effective immediately. "I'm investing in something bigger than profits, people." The media exploded. Billionaire CEO quits for orphans. Stocks dipped. Critics called it a midlife crisis. His ex-wife was stunned, Elena wary but intrigued. Lila learned from the news, piecing together his chance encounters. She confronted him at the tower. "Why? Why me? Why them?" "Because you showed me what real wealth is," Alex replied, eyes misty. kindness without expectation. I was poor in spirit, Lila. You gave me hope. Together they transformed St. Mary's. Lila, promoted to director with a living wage, oversaw programs. Alex reconnected with Elena, who visited and bonded with the kids. Challenges arose: bureaucratic hurdles, skeptical donors, personal doubts. Lila feared losing her independence. Alex battled old habits of control. But through honest talks and shared purpose, they resolved them. One evening, as snow blanketed the city, Lila and Alex stood on the orphanage roof, watching kids play below. "I never thought I'd see this," she whispered. "Neither did I," he said. "But unthinkable things happen when you follow your heart." Their story inspired millions. Donations poured in, other CEOs followed suit. Lila's life bloomed. She even started a foundation. Alex found peace, his daughter by his side. And you, dear viewer, if this tale of sacrifice and redemption moved you, smash that like button. It helps spread these stories. Subscribe for more heartwarming journeys that remind us in